So the first thing we did in week one was we went to ScrapBox. We saw some wine bottles and some recycled wine corks, and those were the first two materials that kind of got the wheels turning in our heads. And we thought maybe we could make something that's personalized, something that's useful and aesthetically pleasing. So we decided that we would get the wine bottles and decorate them, and that would be one product. And then another product would be we would take the cork and cut it up and kind of make like a coaster out of it. Once we started to sell the product, we figured the best way to do that would be to just kind of talk to students around campus in person and get some customer feedback, whether or not they would buy it and stuff. And for the bases and the cork coasters, it was kind of there wasn't really very like intense love or disliking for either product. I think both I think both customers just said that each one had a lot of room for improvement. So we decided to conduct a survey and just simply ask which one would you rather buy, to just kind of like focus all our efforts on one product moving forward. And that turned out to be pretty resoundingly the coasters. So at that moment, we kind of knew that going into week 2 and week 3, we would be focusing our efforts on making the coasters and improving those. Selling was pretty tough. We actually were only able to make one sale, but it's definitely a good start. So yeah.
Let's get it. Okay.
So from week 1 to week 2, we really narrowed down the idea of using the core coasters, and we completely nixed the bottles, and we started to experiment with how we were going to make the coasters and make them come across. We started doing designs on the edges, and we were seeing how that worked. So by week 2, we really got a good idea of what we were going to be selling in regard to the coasters and just like the product itself. So during week 2, we actually started using marketing strategies through social media accounts like Instagram. We completely developed our Instagram account and started reaching out to friends and family to have them spread the word and get our idea out there and start raising public awareness. So through Instagram, that was really where we boosted our social media. And then of course we were using forms of social media like just texting and messaging through GroupMe and text messages to reach out to our friends and then have them reach out to their friends, etc. So one of our biggest changes in week 2, we actually decided that it would be a lot more efficient and people would be a lot more willing to buy the coasters in bundles. So instead of buying, let's say, one coaster for $2, we wanted to start selling them in sets of like 4, 6, and then make them a little bit cheaper by doing it that way. And we were able to get more people who wanted not just like having them in bundles, made them come in a cute little set with a ribbon, and it just seemed a lot more appealing to customers to buy them in sets instead of just having an individual coaster. So that was really helpful for us.
For people like Richard Feynman saying nobody understands quantum mechanics, right? And so if he says that, then there's some authority.
So week 3 was all about once we figured out who exactly our customer was, using the knowledge of our customer and our customer segments to make better sales, make more sales, and know how to use our time more efficiently. So once we nailed down students as the customer segment, I think we started to sell by going apartment door to apartment door, or like door to door, and like using our friends. We kept using social media, and we found that these channels really help boost our sales, especially like the door to door and apartment to apartment. And that's just probably due to the fact that, you know, people who live in apartments and in houses need like coasters and kitchen appliances and a bunch of different things, versus kids who are in dorms or just freshmen and new here might not need as many things as upperclassmen students did. So week 3, as we started to sell more to kids and college students, we also realized that a lot of kids are from different states, so we had the idea to design not just like the block M on the top of coasters, but also different states themselves. We started making ones like with the outline of Michigan or like California or New York. And we found that by like personalizing the coasters, we were able to make more sales because now the kids who are like from New York or from San Francisco, like Bay Area, like they really liked having a little like piece of home right into the design. So by personalizing the coaster even a little bit, that actually really helped us.